Hello, everyone. No intro, just straight us. Just here to talk. Well,
straight.
questionable for some of us. Don't worry about it. But like, we're here, and we're here to talk about OSTs. Before we get into like, you're like, oh, what do these women possibly know about OSTs? So like, Amanda, what's your like background in K-drama appreciation? We'll go around.
I started watching K-dramas in 2016, and a few months in, the old brain finally clicked that this music that I'm listening to and these idol actors, and that maybe this is what K-pop is. And so I started looking into K-pop. So it's my villain origin story is OSTs.
Lucy?
Well, a pretty much similar thing for me, but it's like 2008, Boys Over Flowers, take you back, 2008, Boys Over Flowers just dropped.
Back in the day. Back in the day. Those were the times, weren't they?
I'd come in through like the anime live action pipeline to watching K-drama. So, and then I heard this magical song in Boys Over Flowers, which brought me to Shiny, and then K-pop, and here I am, like a million years later.
Classic. Trish, what about you?
It sounds very similar. I'm probably the latecomer to K-dramas and K-pop with 2018, the latter half of the year. I found K-drama through a Netflix recommendation, and so I watched a few, and then when I got to watching Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart, I heard For You by EXO CBX.
Yeah.
I love this song, and it's like, and these people can sing, that's just like beautiful. And so that was sort of I figured out, and I looked up the song, found out they were in a group called EXO, and off we went.
And there it went. And I've been very similar to Lucy. I've been here a while. Been here a long time. It was the anime, K-drama pipeline, but it was sort of like...
The pipeline is real.
Pipeline is real. It's real. I was like a total anime J-pop kid, and then I became a drama K-pop adult. So like, but I've been, people who know me, they know that I've put, my hyperfixations to work for me, and I'm a bit of an insane person when it comes to both of these topics. So that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about some good old OSTs, things that we like, maybe a few recommendations.
Listen, I have two sides.
I know. I was like, we're going to talk about OSTs as a whole, right? Like, this drama has a bunch of good ones.
I don't even think we need to like go into specifics about dramas necessarily, because there are some times that a bad drama has incredible OSTs. Right. And there's also times that an incredible drama, the music has nothing. Not that inspired. It's just giving you nothing. So we're not going to like talk about the quality of any particular dramas, because we don't need that heat in our lives. That's a personal opinion, and we're all entitled to it. Yeah, we just want to talk about, some OSTs that we have loved throughout the years, And I think I'd be the one that I think that everyone really got people in, I think a lot of the OST lovers was probably from Eel drama Descendants of the Sun.
Yes.
You know the one. And the title, I had it written down and then immediately forgot it. Yes, every time with our good buddy, our friend and yours, Papa Chen. Everyone knows that song. Like, even people who have never seen a single episode.
Yoon Marais had one on there too that also like blew up.
There was a lot of
huge,
real bangers on the Descendants of the Sun soundtrack.
It's true. That's very true.
But it's like, the sort of the song Every Time by Chen has become a bit of a meme. Like, because it's one of those that you keep being able to bring up as like a.
I wrote one of those down on my list, one of those like quintessential everything songs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also from another drama that's got like tons of bangers on it, so it's really hard to narrow down. But My Destiny by Lynn from everybody knows that song.
My Destiny.
Exactly.
Like it's the memeability of that song.
It's yeah.
Chef's kiss. We're not saying that these are our favorites. We're just saying these are
everywhere.
Yeah. But like, and there's also from oh my god, my brain is losing its mind from just the songs on the Goblin soundtrack.
Oh
yeah. For
song
sure.
after song after song.
Banger after banger.
I've got one of those written down that's my favorite, and I don't think it's the one that everybody would go to on that, but it's And I'm Here just gets me every time, which is Kim Kyung-hee, who is the vocalist in a band called April the 2nd, and they're really good. And actually that OST led me to that band because I was like, this is really good. I'm going to look at it.
Like, say what? Say what?
Yeah.
Amanda, what's one that really sticks out to you?
For me, similarly to the ones that you've mentioned, where they're like everybody, Cinderella and the Four Knights was
the one
drama that like hooked me. But that B2B for you, you can play that. Just you type in Cinderella and the Four Knights GIF, and you get the GIF of the three boys walking, and you can hear it in your head. Dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 right, like every time.
The other song
soundtrack has great.
Yeah, the other song that I love from the Cinderella and the Four Knights is Jessie's song.
Yes.
My
she
Romeo.
Does not sing enough anymore.
She was killing it. And it's like, if you look,
there's a song by the Dick Punks.
Yep.
Stars Fall on You or something, and like there's so many good songs in that soundtrack. Like
what I love about the Jessie song on that one is if you're familiar with Jessie's discography, that's not the song, like, and you hear that song, you don't think that's by her. Like you're just like, I don't know who this song is by, but that is not by Jessie, but it is. Yeah. It's like this it's wonderful.
It's a gorgeous pop song. Like it's just, I love it when she sings, and she doesn't sing that much anymore. She's more focused on her rap, but when she sings,
whatever she wants to do, we're fine.
Absolutely.
Very supportive.
Right.
Trish, what about you? What's a banger that you can think of?
Well, we were talking about soundtracks as a whole, and this one's newer than the ones that you all were talking about. But I thought the soundtrack for DP was awesome. Yes, it had it was a lot of songs by Chris, Primary, Kevin O. It was just like a kind of soundtrack, and I really enjoyed it.
Fun. I never even watched that one, but I've got so many of its soundtracks like in my playlist.
It's good. It's hard, but it's good.
Bad and Crazy and Strangers from Hell were in a similar vein. Like,
my god, the Strangers from Hell soundtrack, and like
they got all the super band people to go on it, didn't they? Because I think it's the same network that
And also, like, another one along that vein is the Sweet Home soundtrack. Like, Blue-Eyes song on that. Say less. Say less. It's so good. So, another little question I have to pose for you. Who do you know, as soon as you see that they're doing an OST, who's the one person that you're like, oh, that's going to be an absolute banger?
K-Will.
K-Will. Yeah.
K-Will. Yeah. I was going to say
Isaac Hong.
Yeah, Isaac Hong is really good.
Trish mentioned Kevin O, and like he always has bangers, but also Saran. Like she's on everything, and like it's always going to be good. Like every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Go Trish.
I lost where I was. There is the guy. Kim Jong-un from Nell. He does some good ones too.
Same for Ha Hyun-woo from he's a soloist as well, but he's from Gurkistan. And he's does some really great stuff. He did one recently for the King of Pigs. It was really good.
Kim Jae-hwan does.
Oh, I think we may have lost Trish briefly.
Oh, she's back.
Hello.
We're good. We're good.
Kentucky internet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Every time I see that punch is associated with
Yeah.
something, I'm like, oh,
Right?
we're about to
Yeah.
get something absolutely perfect. Like,
Well,
just.
I remember there was a time frame for a couple of years there where like Mellowmance was on every
Yes.
romantic drama, and it was like one of them went into the army, and everyone was like, "Who's gonna make the soundtrack?" Like Mellowmance.
Don't worry.
What will we listen to?
There's always someone to make the soundtrack.
Someone will step up.
There's someone else that I forgot initially when I said K Will as well, but Gaho kills.
Oh yeah.
the
Oh,
soundtrack
Gaho's
every time.
incredible.
For sure.
Yeah.
Every time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Ailey too.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
like Katie said, Ailey, and Tammy saying,
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, don't worry about it. And then you're dealing with your internet. Don't worry.
I
about
know.
it. And then Tammy said that pretty much anyone on EXO's vocal line, and you're not wrong.
Exactly.
True.
'Cause, you know,
Mhm,
just absolutely
Well, I think-
fantastic.
in more recent years, Elaine shows up on a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
like Janet Suh, like
Mhm.
Oh.
they like if you know you're gonna get something special and unique when you see
Yep.
their names hidden.
An Epic High. If Epic High is ever on an OST, you know it's gonna go.
You know it's gonna be
it's
a
good.
banger.
You know it's gonna be good. The latest
Yeah.
one from Black Knight, that's not the drama Black Knight, but for some reason, I don't know why they translated the Korean title to Black Knight for the new drama thing that they did.
We listen. Sometimes,
But
if you're a longtime drama watcher, you know that sometimes the translations of the titles make no sense.
well, we see it with songs all the time as well.
Yeah.
You're just like,
You're like, what is this?
you're like, how did you get this from that?
It's like a lot of times, and sometimes it's harder with the C dramas because, like, my favorite OST from last year, when I look it up, it's from a C drama, but when I look it up, I find like two different titles, and it's from Love Between Fairy and Devil, and it's like either The Love of Kanglan or Parting Love, you know, one or the other. It's by Faye, and it's like it's one of those that I love so much. Like, every episode, I just let it play instead of skipping the opening. So.
I find a lot of times it's hard with the Chinese ones too, just because they'll only be written in Chinese, and you're like, I don't speak the language, I don't read it, I have to like ask. I have friends who know enough, and I'll be like, can you find me the link? And they'll be like, here you go, and then I can like find it on Spotify that way, you know.
Daddy Google helps me out quite a bit, where I'll be like, please give me a soundtrack, and then it'll give it to me in, you know, the Mandarin characters, and they'll just painstakingly paste them into Spotify. Like, I'm gonna find this if it kills me. Or the other thing I do is like, I Shazam it. I'm like, Shazam, help me, because it'll just link me right over. But like, listen, this is the price of entry for enjoying other cultures' entertainments is you may have to Google a title or two. That's just
It's true.
that is what it is.
Your friend.
Exactly. It's not the end of the world. Like for example, we were talking about Gaho earlier. Like the his main song that is on the Itaewon class soundtrack only has a Hangul title. There's not even they didn't even give us a little side. They're like, no, you can.
You just got to figure it out.
Learn Korean.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Key says,
it's fine. I know that word. It's fine.
Yeah.
At least
there's ways around it. You can always just search for the soundtrack and then just play each song until you figure out which is the one you're looking for.
I'm all right because I've got a Korean keyboard enabled as well.
Yeah,
because I need it for like my
At least, like, I find Hangul's a little easier because it is an alphabet. Like, it's a little easier to at least sound things out a little bit and be like, I think I got that, but yeah.
So my next question for you OST fans out there, and this includes anyone in the chat as well, what is like a song that it may have been from like an older drama or something that like you're just like, I wish people knew about it more. I wish more people were like, yeah, I'm adding this to my playlist. I want you to evangelize a song for us now. Tell the world why you think they should listen to a song.
Does it have to be an older one?
No, it can be any song.
Oh gosh.
Cha Eun-woo from he did one for Under the Oak Tree, which isn't a drama.
Yes.
I think it was a manga.
It's a manhwa, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's called Don't Cry, My Love, and it's beautiful. It was out last year, I believe, and I think a lot of people maybe missed it, but it was one of my favorites from last year.
I was just laughing because I was deciding whether this would be controversial or not.
Be whatever, Lucy. You be whatever you want to be, girl. Like, do what you want, girl. It's fine.
Not everyone has done the Boys Over Flowers pipeline. Not everyone can stand to do that these days. I think
they don't have the stomach for it.
You did have to be there to watch it.
It's one of those, like there are people today that I think would genuinely enjoy Boys Over Flowers for what it is, but I feel like it's been like, people get weird emotions about Boys Over Flowers. Let's just say that.
Yeah, Shiny's Stand By Me in that is just so nice.
By me.
It's so it's so great. Well, either that or like Romantic Devil by Colden from Semantic Error. Because if you didn't watch Semantic Error, you wouldn't really know that song, but it's so good.
It's so really good. Quite good. Also, you should also just watch Semantic Error.
I mean, obviously.
For me, mine is It's You by Henry, which is fully in English for some reason. And it's from the While You Were Sleeping soundtrack.
It's gorgeous.
It's because like my husband and I joke about Henry a lot because we're basically like Henry Lau is who we're talking about here. Is basically the modern day Mozart, but like no one really like talks about it because he can do anything.
Yeah,
but
he's amazing.
But the song It's You is just this beautiful ballad that is sort of what I like about like when there's an OST that perfectly captures the vibe of the show, and I feel like that perfectly captured the vibe. Hey, welcome. So yeah, It's You by Henry. It's for me, and it could be for you.
One of the older ones that I think, and I can't even just pick a song, but as a whole, the Love Rain soundtrack, everything about it just started playing just as I'm saying this, and it's so gorgeous and soft and pretty, and like I loved it before I got into K-pop. Like I didn't associate it with K-pop somehow. Like, but there's like 2 CDs of songs, and even the instrumentals are gorgeous. Like it's just, and it's an older one, so people who have been in the game for a while will know it because it's Love Rain and it was huge. But like if you're newer to OSTs, K-pop, K-dramas, you might not have ever seen it, and I would just say, like, you don't even have to go watch it, just go check out the music, right?
There's like another sort of genre of OST, and I think it's only really been done with sort of enthusiasm for like really, it's been done a few times, but I feel like they really went hard in the You're Beautiful soundtrack where they make a fake band in the show. and then
that
the
was
fake
my
band.
controversial thing.
I was Angel.
Oh no, it's
Because
the wrong
there
one.
were some absolute bangers.
Yes. I've yeah.
Just like last year or 2 years ago, Idol the Coop came out, and it had, I mean, it had great soundtracks, but like I have never wished for a K-drama band to be real the way that I wished for Cotton Candy to like put out more music.
Yeah.
And mine was
the songs.
yeah. And mine was Luna from Let Me Be Your Night. They were really good.
Or no, and did any of the fake bands on Imitation? I'd listen to all
we
of
got
those.
so emotionally attached in Heavenly Idol to our little boy
No,
group.
okay. Lucy and I watching Heavenly Idol. We were like, we need these to be a real, like, we want to become their biggest fans, but they're not real. They're just actors. They're not actually singing any of these. It was hard to say goodbye to that one.
Did any of you watch I Will Be Your Bloom?
No,
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, their little fake band Bloom was. I thought they were good too.
It's like I love when they make the fake bands and then the fake bands put out albums. Like there's just something so peak OST about that I can't even describe. Or when like an actor who's also a singer or an idol on the show puts out like an OST, I'm always like, nice.
Yeah.
Like when like So and Gook will put out an OST, I'm always like,
yeah.
It's so weird when they don't. Like I always think, why are you casting idols if you're not going to have them sing a song on the soundtrack? Like that feels like a no-brainer.
Right.
Because it's just like you're already there.
Yeah.
Like Sarah already mentioned it, and it's on my list as well. But Wish for You from the Wish You soundtrack, that did utilize both the singers in that because it was Kang In-soo and Lee Sang. That was such a gorgeous song that they did together. And
it was.
Yeah.
And it's like such an easy marketing technique.
Exactly.
That like, you know, if you're gonna get the fans of that singer or idol already coming in. Like get them coming and going, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love OSTs.
Same.
I feel like it's like sometimes the OST can really make or break a drama that's maybe like on like you're like, I don't know, man. Like talking about like, you know, like Cinderella and the Four Knights. The show is fine. Okay. I enjoyed the show. It's fine. That OST though.
Right? Yeah.
Banger after banger after banger. And I argue things like, you know, like Descend into the Sun, for example. I don't think that drama would be as well regarded for so long if it hadn't been for how good the music was. Because every single song on the Descend to the Sun soundtrack is incredible. Yeah. Oh yeah, Sarah, you're like, we did the Jessie Love Fest about Cinderella. Worry not, Sarah. We were talking about it.
There was one drama.
Go ahead. Go Trish.
Oh no! Like a lot of people, I enjoyed it because I'm easily entertained. But like, a lot of people didn't like Jirasan, but it had a lot of good songs on it. It's like, I mean, Jin from BTS had a song on there, and then I really loved the song "Falling" by Kim Jong-won from Nell. I really enjoyed that one, but it's like I thought the music just really kind of
Well, I was gonna say like
it's lovely seeing you.
Chicago Typewriter. I mean, I think Chicago Typewriter is a fantastic drama. Like I love it with all of my heart. But there are certain like I'll listen to the soundtrack and I'll just start crying because like in your head, you know, your heart knows what's going on when you hear that song, and you're just like all of a sudden like, no,
Chicago Typewriter is such a good show.
I think the Goblin soundtrack's quite good for that as well.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of really hard hitting songs on that, and you
can
I have
like
feel the scene.
I think it's been well known with me and Goblin that I've always like Why'd she have to be in high school though?
Exactly.
Why couldn't she have been a college student? Why'd she have to be in high school? But that soundtrack keeps me going back for more. It keeps me going back.
I've got 2Z do a lot of soundtracks these days, but they did like Even If I'm Not, I'm Okay on Kissable Lips, which divisive drama.
Very divisive.
But that was a really good one of theirs.
Right.
And sometimes, I don't know if this has ever happened to anyone else, but an idol group will do a OST, and suddenly I'm like, well, I gotta check these.
For sure.
And mine for that was, I was kind of aware of them, but I wasn't like really into them at the time. But Monsta X did an OST for Shopping King Louie, which is one of my favorite comedy dramas.
Oh God, I love that
so funny.
I do too.
But their song, The Tiger Moth, on that drama was so good that I was like, all right, I think I got to get into these fellas a bit more. Has there ever been a similar situation for y'all ladies and anyone in the chat as well?
To be honest, if anyone does a BL soundtrack, I'm automatically like, well, they passed the vibe check.
Yeah, they passed the vibe check. Yeah,
exactly.
True.
I mean, not K-pop, but for that specifically, Scrub from and Ben, like those are two groups that I found through Boy Love OSTs.
Oh yeah, Tilly Birds. I found them.
Yes.
Oh, you took it right out of my mouth.
Sorry, Trish. Listen, they said gay is okay.
And listen, I think a lot of us have been introduced to our Lord and Savior Jeff Sater through.
Wow. Yeah.
Also, I think that Lucy, it does help that every time our boy Jeff has a new song come out, you and I are like, we're watching it on the Friday night.
It's on the list.
Jeff Sater has a new album. We gotta watch Jeff Sater. So we're his little ministers, just really spreading the word. Are there any like other ones that you've just you saw in an OST and then you're like, yes, this is now a new obsession of mine?
Watched Inspector Coup a couple of years ago, and almost like half of the soundtracks are by a group called TRRP, and they're so good, and the songs are so good, and everything. I mean, that is a drama that like I cannot recommend enough. Like, it's so good. And then the OSTs fit so well. Like, it just go so well with the scenes and everything. And I was like, I have got to check this band out. And they are a band, musical instruments and the whole thing. And like, they're just so good. The voices, the sound, everything. I love them so much. But like, a lot, probably half of what they have out available on Spotify is just the Inspector Coup soundtrack. So I'd like
this is the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? So go.
No, I was just gonna say, Standing Eggs, another one that keeps popping up all the time on OSTs, and you like, ooh, go and check out more. Now carry on.
Let me tell you, if you're an EXO fan, you got to get into that OST game because they've been working hard for years making Korean television sound good. Like, the EXO vocal line's been out there really doing the good work, like.
Well, part of what I understand or what I've heard, in particular when it's like the subunits or the individuals, is that the soundtrack work doesn't fall under their contract.
Yeah.
So they get that money. Like, their management companies don't get the big cut. They just get that money. So like, I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but like,
it's probably like a different percentage.
Something you would want to do because it's it's outside of the group, right? It's your individual stuff.
Another person that I discovered through soundtracks was definitely Car the Garden.
Yes,
my list.
Vibe just stayed with me afterwards. I was like, oh, okay. Like, this is good, just good, fun, chill vibes that I can enjoy from now on. What a lovely addition to the old brain. Yeah. Now here, like, my mind just went totally blank. My apologies.
There's I just realized when I was going through my lists for this, Raw L, I think it's like RA.L. And
oh yeah.
I think the only things they've got on Spotify are soundtracks. But I was like, oh, I actually like all of these, even though I haven't watched most of the dramas, but like they have really good soundtracks, and you're like, oh, I wish there was more that I could hear from you.
So, is there an OST from drama from this year? Oh, Sarah, you came a little late. We already were talking about it. Sarah, you're missing all the good stuff.
Yes, we're on the same page.
You, me, same. Is there an OST from this year drama that you're like, this was a real banger, and I think you should check it out? Now I'm asking hard questions.
I mean, I already represented the primary tableau and Chris.
That's true.
Black Knight, offering.
I was actually telling Lucy about this last night after we finished our recording last night. But my favorite OST from this year, which is also from my even though I watched it in February, it's still my top drama of the year, was Nobody's Perfect by Mac Daddy from the Unlock Your Boss OST. It is a banger. Sarah, just don't apologize. We're just joshing. We're just joshing you, Sarah. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, that one's like a real banger, and also the show's really good. I just really like the show. So
I liked Ailey's "I'm Sorry" from Alchemy of Souls. That was early in the year.
I'm just trying to think of what's like from this year.
Or it could be
there was a bunch of from C dramas. There was I love the songs from Meet Yourself, and there was another one, I think, Why Women Love. I think was what it was called, and it had some really good, excellent songs that I just really enjoyed.
Very fun. A lot of good show opportunities, maybe, for those who aren't just for some reason are just here to hang out with us and have never watched a K drama or C drama or J drama or T drama or Thai drama in their lives. Well, guess what? We're here to help you. Now, this is a real hard question. Say you meet someone who's never watched a K drama, never listened to K-pop, and has never heard an OST in their life. What are you sending them to listen to?
Single song?
Yeah, single song. Yeah. What's the one song you're like, this is gonna get them? This is gonna get them. What are you sending?
I've got two that immediately popped to mind. One is "Strangers" by The Rose from Strangers from Hell soundtrack, and the other one is from a drama that isn't completely liked, The Bride of the Water God. It's Glass Bridge by Savina and the Drones. They have done other OSTs before, but that song, incredible. And you would never know.
I mean, my to K-pop was "For You" by XOCBX from Scarlet Heart. And then if you want something like that's totally different in feel, I really like "Runaway" by Simon Dominic, which Taxi Driver 1.
Yes.
I feel like I would have to send them to Saran, like probably Step Step from Jealousy Incarnate. Like that one has a real catchy pop vibe, but also for something sort of different, Into the Abyss from the drama Abyss, which I've never watched all of Abyss, but like that song is so good and so haunting and cool. So but they're very, very different songs, but the same singer. So, you know, you can see her range that way.
Mine would probably be Story of Us by Joe Uri from the Monthly Magazine Home soundtrack. It is really good. And surprisingly, there's a second one on the Monthly Magazine Home OST that I also think I would send to people, which is the song by Woods from that, There For You, which is, I gotta be honest, the Monthly Magazine Home OST is hopping, okay? Like, it is.
Sometimes it's just like that, yeah.
I also like the show, but like, I genuinely think that the soundtrack is just banger after banger after banger. But like, yeah, those two for me, I think, are the ones that I just think are absolutely, like, just the vibes are so fun, so pleasant, so chill. Lovely. Which sort of is the vibe of the show too. So I guess that does make sense. They really were really, you know, putting it out there. So yeah, let's just like chat. Just start throwing out some OSTs that you like. You know,
I noticed that I like a lot of the soundtracks from the drama Tracer, which was not available easily to watch when it came out. And like now I'm like, I wonder if it's somewhere that I could watch it now, because if I like this many of the OSTs, maybe that means I'll like the drama. Maybe it doesn't, but like,
who knows?
I feel like I should give it a shot.
Adrenaline by Solar was incredible. Like it could be a Bond song, like easily.
Another one I like, and I don't know if I'm saying the artist's name right, was a song called Reason by Yoari. It's Yoari. And it's from The Veil.
I think Trish has left us briefly once more. Oh, there she's back. She's back. She's back. Technology foiling her tonight.
Stupid
Don't worry about it.
Did you all hear the one I just said?
Nope.
Yeah.
So let's repeat yourself. I didn't. So
okay. If the artist is spelled Yoari, I don't know, but it's called Regan, and it's from The Veil.
Oh,
it's really, really good.
I really like the duet that Kihyun and Sola did for the Secretary Kim soundtrack, Love Virus.
Secretary Kim soundtrack.
It's real. Like, I really like soundtracks like the Secretary Kim soundtrack because it like fully represents the vibes of the show. Because like every once in a while you'll have a show where you're like, this music is just here because they wanted this big music, like, and it doesn't. Yeah. But like everyone, like some shows, like the ones that you remember, like you're just like, wow, that really fit. Like for example, Descendants of the Sun. That soundtrack makes no sense with the content of Descendants of the Sun. I think it's been long enough that we can all admit none of that made sense. The soundtracks were incredible, but had nothing to do, with the vibe of the show. Like
Moon Lovers is a historical drama with a lot of rap.
Yeah.
Soundtrack.
It's just like,
but they're great songs.
Yeah.
Like, really excellent songs. So if you treat them as just like a compilation album, you're like, yeah, this is great. But like if you're watching the show and you're like, it doesn't make sense to be playing this song at any point except for the opening and ending credits, like you're just like, what are we doing here? Like
a drama that did that really well, the cohesiveness, is Strong Woman, Dobon.
Yeah.
I've got Super Power Girl, the title song on my list because it is so fun. It's so nice.
And they were not going to release that. It was not on the soundtrack. It was, and people were like, "Give us the song." And we're like, "Oh,
we were desperate.
We only have this much song. I guess we need to like make it a little longer so we can release it for you people."
But that whole soundtrack just matched the vibe of the show so well. It was so.
I need to rewatch that one. It's been a long time.
And it's like, you know, like the soundtrack for Goblin makes sense.
Yeah.
For Goblin in a way that you know, the soundtrack for Hwarang doesn't.
Well, yeah, like the soundtrack for It's Okay to Not Be Okay or whatever. Like, it's very haunting and kind of creepy, but also romantic, and so like it goes with the vibe of the show. Yep. Like every song on there, like you're like, yep, this belongs here.
Listen,
like, oh, okay.
we're all before we literally, like Sarah's saying, it's so cheesy. Before we literally were repping like You're Beautiful's Angel. So
Angel, yes.
I don't think we get more cheesy than that.
Yeah, listen, we're okay with cheesy as long as it fits the vibe of the show, because just it's just nice, like the the soundtrack for like Hometown Cha Cha Cha, that fit the show that you're watching.
So,
but then I don't even remember what one it was, but it was a historical Korean drama, and even like the instrumentals were like weirdly Celtic, and I remember sitting there watching and being like, why is this
suddenly it's Rob Roy,
yeah, I'm like, what? Like none of this makes sense, what are we doing? But I think it's, I got to be a little gentler towards these historical dramas and their soundtracks, because, like, of course, a rap song isn't going to make sense for a historical drama, okay? But they still got to make that OST money, Like, so, I get it. But
the Hotel Del Luna soundtrack was another one that was so good. Like, you can literally, I was looking at the list of songs for it, and I was like, I don't know which one that I would write down. I decided in the end to go about the Taeyeon one, the All About You one. Was but yeah, that really, and that's another one that you can listen to outside of the drama and just be like transported back to a scene in your head. Like
another one that has a really good soundtrack that really fits is the Hospital Playlist season 1 and 2 soundtrack. Incredible.
Perfect.
Yeah, Because This Is My First Life does have a lovely OST as well.
Yes.
It's fantastic. I feel like it is easier than modern.
I'm just thinking about the idea of, you get transported back to the, and you can see and I'm just thinking about Something in the Rain and Stand By Your Man. Like, I cannot hear that song anymore without, like, that's an example of, like, I mean, it kind of goes, but, like, it's the only song in this, like, whole drama. Like, pick a few more. Have half a dozen, please.
Yeah, the Done For Me on Hotel Del Luna is an absolutely incredible song.
That really does just take you back, like, to the feels.
Yeah. The other one is Round and Round by Hags and Han Soo-ji from Goblin. Like, that one, every time I hear it, I'm like, I'm back. I'm back in the building. Martha, I'm back in the building again. Even though, as I said, why'd you have to be in high school? But you know what? We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to get into that. The other soundtrack that I find is, like, bizarrely incredible is the Oh My Venus soundtrack.
Yes.
What is that soundtrack was bopping, like was, bop after bop.
I mean, I always think of one of the things I always think of with that drama is the Christmas party that they have, and Henry plays his violin and he plays the theme song for the drama, but like it's a Christmas carol. Like
that's what I'm saying. Henry, modern day Mozart. Okay, you heard it from old Natalia. Okay? He
was so funny in that drama.
Yeah.
Oh God, I mean that drama is like questionable, but it's
but listen, the drama is what it is. There's far worse dramas out there than Oh My.
Oh God, yeah.
Just.
I mean, we've already talked about Boys Over Flowers. So.
But listen, say what you will about Boys Over Flowers, but when Almost Paradise starts to play, you be singing along.
Oh yeah,
you'll be singing along.
You're expecting like some guys to walk through the.
the fan, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, like, so a soundtrack can really, and I feel like without the soundtrack to Boys Over Flowers, this bold statement from Natalia again, it wouldn't be as enduringly popular as it is, because it's
right.
The soundtrack really like makes
sets a tone,
the show as like adds to the ridiculousness of the show.
There are other dramas from that similar time period that have similarly questionable everything, and you don't like there's no OST that clicks with it the same way, right? So yeah, music can make you remember an otherwise forgettable drama. Like, sometimes.
Well, okay, I think Boys Over Flowers. I don't think it's
not Boys Over Flowers. I'm saying in general, you know,
Boys Over Flowers is burned into your brain.
Seared into the psyche, really. Yeah.
I mean, it was so many people's entry into K-dramas.
Yeah. And we were never the same again. We were never the same again, you know?
I saw somebody recently talking about the One Punch series that's coming up, and they were like, oh, this is going to be the first ever successful anime to, you know, manga to anime to, and people are like, hang on.
Excuse you, because listen, the thing about Boys Over Flowers, okay,
there's contested advice in the comments.
Okay, so I know that you don't have to watch it, but there's an experience to watching it that's like, you know what it'd be really good for? If you were watching it in a group and then like laughing about it together. Yeah. Like there's something just like, you know, so ludicrous.
It's like, you know what everybody else is talking about if you've watched it, you know?
Like
if you hear everybody talk about Boys Over Flowers, you're just like, I don't know what's wrong with this thing.
And
it's like you think you know.
In modern dramas, even now, they will reference things from that drama. Like stuff, there will be little jokes that you'll miss because you don't know what the hair means or the, you know,
and you see like the, you know, idols parodying things all the time.
Right.
Monster X did a whole sort of like weird thing with like what was it was Boys Over Flowers, The Heirs, and I can't remember what else it was now.
So to answer your question, Sarah, technically yes, but Boys Over Flowers was also a remake of a Taiwanese show from years previous called Meteor Garden.
So it went Meteor Garden, Boys
It
Over
went
Flowers,
Meteor Garden from Taiwan. Well, at first there was the manhwa.
Oh, Hana
the manga, Hana Yori from Japan, which was then Meteor Garden from Taiwan, which was then Boys Over Flowers from Korea, which was then Meteor Garden again from mainland China, which was then F4 from Thailand. And you're thinking that's where it ends? No. Because there was also Boys Over Flowers that was in Japanese as well. So
Boys Over Flowers sections.
There's so many options.
I think there might be a Filipino one too.
There's probably
I
think there was also an American attempt at one point.
I'm trying to say, I'm surprised there's not. It would be American.
It's a real endless inception of just Boys Over Flowers. Personally, this is my own personal opinion, not the opinion of the Hagdom in general. The Chinese Meteor Garden is the best one that I've seen.
Same. I you know what? The Chinese Meteor Garden is the most enjoyable because it's the least actually criminal. They don't actually, you know.
Yeah.
Crimes are not committed in the same way.
Listen,
there is a J-drama one before the K-drama one, but there's been another J-drama one, I believe, because they just also put out a movie with the same
one.
Cast. It's all very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you think like, oh, it got so weird at the end. No, that's the same in all of them. Like they're all pretty much shot for shot, baby.
Listen,
like
it's like the lineup of the worst choices in the world that you could face. Like, essentially, those two.
And sports. A lot of sports.
A lot of sports. But you know what? Let's get back on track here. So like before we like wrap up, because we've been going for almost an hour about just chatting about if there's if there's one that you're gonna pick, you're just like, yeah. I've been thinking about it. We've been talking about it a lot. I may have changed my mind. Top of all time. What's my fave? What's the one that I love the best? What are we doing? I get asking the hard question. I'm letting you. I'm making you pick one.
It's for me. It's Satellite, Chicago Typewriter, Satellite by Salt and Pepper. Paper. It just I literally haven't watched the drama in years. I haven't rewatched, but I cannot hear that song and not start to cry. Like that's the one for me.
This is hard.
These are hard questions.
It is.
Come here to be really like the hard hitting journalism happening right now on the channel.
I think I'm gonna have to stay true to like Shiny Stand By Me, because that's really what ultimately got me into K-pop and everything. So
Fluffnutter agrees. I don't know if you heard her just meowing.
Yeah, I heard her meowing.
Yes.
Shiny.
She's a show-all. Like she clearly. Joyce, you got one? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go with the one I've already said twice tonight is For You by XOCDX.
So. I got a real dark horse one because I haven't even mentioned it. Well, I mentioned the person who sings it because he's a very prolific singer, but I don't think we've even mentioned the drama ones. But Chen's Make It Count from the Touch Your Heart soundtrack.
Yes. Touch Your Heart was mentioned in the chat, I think.
Oh,
I can't remember who mentioned it.
Thank you, whoever mentioned it.
Sarah, I think it was Sarah, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But I didn't Make It Count by Chen is just, it's such a, listen, Chen's beautiful voice, the golden, and then it's just the song really perfectly encapsulates the vibe that they were going for in the show, except for that weird one storyline. But listen, it's fine.
Yeah, she mentioned What If Love by Wendy.
Yeah.
That was what it was, yeah.
Touch Your Heart is another one of those that's a really good soundtrack. So yeah, I think any final notes that people have before we sign off for the evening?
Listen to soundtracks.
Yes.
I mean, and go follow those rabbit trails and also find a new favorite group or singer.
People, exactly like I did with April the 2nd from like Goblin. But people have this idea that OSTs are all just like really slow ballads, and they're not. They're really not.
Like the one I mentioned for Unlock Your Boss, that's a straight up just rap song.
So people discount them going, "Oh, I don't like ballads." Well, they're not all ballads.
They're not all ballads. They're not all K-pop singers.
No.
Like there's bands and there's all kinds of stuff going on, rap and like.
I probably can, but I'm sure Lucy was taking notes.
I'll do it.
Yeah, Lucy'll hook us up. But it's actually really easy. Like if you're on Spotify, you can literally just search OST, and it'll bring you like
I think there's
Korean drama OSTs.
Yeah, I think there's literally Spotify playlists.
Yeah, like Spotify specific.
Yeah.
Playlists.
I don't think they're very long though, so.
There is one by someone called
Edgar.
By Edgar called Best Korean Drama OST that has 682 songs on it.
Wow.
It is 42 hours and 49 minutes long. I feel like you could probably find some good bangers there. Yeah. Okay, we'll also do it too. We'll do it too. Don't worry. We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up. Once we do, I will add that in the comments, not the comment section, in the description of this video. So once we have that for you, so a couple days. Anyway, thank you for all coming. Thanks for everyone for coming and talk about OSTs with us. We hope you have a fantastic night. Lucy and I, and hopefully Frankie, will be back next Friday on Twitch for our Friday night situation. And I'm not entirely sure what's supposed to be going on Saturday, but probably something, like we do.
Yeah.
Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic night, and we will see you soon. All right, good night, everyone.
Bye.